Okay, so arranging and organizing your project file. This one is completely based on personal preference, as you are not required to organize a thing in FL Studio. It's totally, completely kind of cattywampus here in the playlist. You can put anything anywhere you want. And if you know what's going on and you're cool with it looking like just a headache, then that's totally works for you. Or if you want to have everything perfectly color coded and organized, you can do that too. So let's just go ahead and get started. What I'm gonna do is create some groups here over here in this section for each of our elements. And what I mean by that is here on track 1, I'm just gonna right click, rename, and call this drums. And I'm gonna color code this purple. You can obviously choose whatever color you'd like. That's what I have here. So then next, down here, I'm gonna call this one kick for our kick drum. Make it purple, and then I'm gonna right click and group with the above track. And that has no effect on the sound or anything whatsoever. All it does is just help keep you organized. So next, I'm going to make one for snare and group it with the above track. Next, let's do hats. On color. Then let's do crash. Have any other drums? Oh yeah. No. Kick, crash, snare, hats. I believe that is it. So let's go ahead and start placing our samples in their correct lanes. So here we have our crash, and drag that here. Our snare is already right where it needs to be. Our kick, we can drag down here to kick, and our hats up here to hats. Now we have a cool little drum section up here, and everything's labeled so you know where you placed your corrective samples. Next, let's go ahead and make one for sub. We're gonna make sub green. The first sub here is our audio sub, which I think I've said this maybe about 10 times now, but I can never remember. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say it again. You do not need 2 subs. I only did that to demonstrate how to do one in audio and one in MIDI. But we're leaving them both in just for this video. So I'm gonna label this one 808 audio. And then I'm gonna label this one 808 MIDI. Gang. Next up, let's do our synths. Excuse me. I'm gonna insert one. Call this one synths. We're gonna label it red. And we got 2 plucks going on here. So we'll call our first one pluck 1. Color code, group. Call this next one pluck 2. Color code, group. You might notice that every time I make a new track here, I'm going right click and insert one. And that's because it gives me just a fresh track to work with instead of like renaming one that already has something on it. So it makes it a lot easier to drag stuff up when it's just a clear, fresh, easy track. Okay, that's like our pad. Let's go ahead and call this pad. And then a little brass horn there. We can put that in the synth section. I believe that is it. So now let's take, here's our pluck, our first pluck, and this is our second pluck here that's kind of providing that little harmony. Put that on pluck 2. Take our pad, put it up here under pad, and our brass right here under brass. Look at this. Look how good we're starting to look now. Next up, let's do an effects. Even though we're really only using one effect, this little white noise, but we're gonna go ahead and give it its own section anyways. Effects, let's do blue, insert, go white noise up. That's not the right color. That is. And let's go white noise down. There's our white noise down. Here's our white noise up. And so forth. And then we got, oh, we have an impact too. Impacty. All right, moving on. Get our vocals in here. Folks. Make it orange. Insert 1. Call this one pre-drop. Pre-prop. And chant. Drag the pre-drop right to there. And the chant up. Yeah. So now you'll notice that all we have left is automation. Everything else is very nicely organized in our playlist. So let's make a automation section. And what we can do here for the automation, this really depends on how intense you want to get with your organization. And we're going to get really intense with our organization. Not really though. I'm making that sound way crazier than it is. So here, if you remember correctly, these are our vocal automations right here. And then down here, our snare and volume. Yeah, these are for these are for our little pluck, which would be in our synth section. So let's go ahead and make this called synths automation, and we'll code it the exact same color as our synths here. And what do we have down here? We have pluck EQ and reverb and volume. So label them as such. And then now, here's our EQ, here is our reverb, and here's our volume. Drag these up. EQ goes right here. volume or reverb goes right there. The volume goes right there. Realize that does not look very good, so I'm going to fix that real quick. Oh, that's not used anywhere. Okay, I don't even need to make that unique. I'll make this a little better. Excuse me. And then that underneath that, we'll do focus automation. Do tempo delay or delay tempo. That's for the plugin that we were using for that little robotic effect. You know what? We'll label this a low pass instead of an EQ. Just because we're using the EQ doesn't mean we need to label it that. And then reverb. And these were all for the pre-drop. And I'm gonna go ahead and fix this one too. Low pass. Boom. And oh wait, almost. There's these two around. And just like that, our playlist has leveled up to clutch mode. Looking gravy as can be. But we're not done yet because we need to fix our mixer now. So to do that, I'm just going to move everything over so I can start correctly labeling the mixer. And an easy way to do that is to click on something, hold down Alt, and then you can use your arrow key to just dance around wherever you want on the mixer. So I'm gonna move all these over. Does not change the settings that you have on that channel. Keeps them exactly the same. Just changes the position on the mixer in which they're at. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is just go down our playlist and label accordingly. So insert one. We're gonna call this drums bus. And bus means you can have this be like your bus channel for your entire drum section, meaning you can route your kick, snare, hats, and crash, whatever drums you have on your mixer, you can route them through this bus channel here, which is kind of like a master control for all of the little whatever elements that you have in your drum section. And this is totally only if you want to. You don't have to do this, but we're just going to anyways. So we have that, and we have it color coded to the same. So we're gonna go over here. Call this kick. Snare. Hats. Crash. And then let's put all these guys through our bus channel. So we have crash. Go over here, you right click this little arrow under the bus. Hit route to this track only. Boom. See this little wire here connected over here to the bus. And the bus is connected right over to the master. So set. We can do that for all of our little elements here. Whoops. I just sent our snare to our kick. Or wait, no, did I? No, I'm good. So now oops. I accidentally hit Control S while I was on the mixer, so it tried saving that mixer preset. But so now we have the mixer labeled, but we haven't actually assigned our samples here. And I'm also looking over here and realizing that I already have a crash channel. Which is right here. So I'm gonna just go ahead and put this here. And then this guy, we can just get rid of. And an easy way to, if you ever have a channel on your mixer that you want to get rid of, just go to a blank one, hit File, right click, drag it over here, bam. It is no more. So here's our new crash. Read that right there. Rename it. Voila. So let's add our kick to channel 2. Our snare, channel 3. Our hats to channel 4. And our crash is already assigned to channel 5. Moving on. I'm going to do the exact same thing that we just did for the drum section. So that sub bus. I'm going to start moving a little quicker here because it is kind of tedious. But I feel like I've covered the basics. So we'll route our channels to the bus. And add our samples to their respective channels. Okay, next up is synths. And these, let's see, serum. I think that's our pluck. It is. Let's drag this guy right over here. Rename him pluck. And since we have 2 plucks, but they're both assigned to the same mixer channel, I can just call this pluck. I don't need to label it pluck 1 or pluck 2. And this guy is our pad, which he is not assigned to anything yet. So we'll put him right here. Call him pad. And then we have our brass, which is not on anything either. Let's go ahead and pop these guys through our bus channel. Oops, accidentally sent that to the wrong one. There we go. Both of those I did. Cool. Now let's do our effects. Wrong color. Really easy to get those two mixed up. Okay, so we have our impact and our down lifter, which is the only 2 things that we have. So they're already in here. I'm gonna pop this guy over here. Rename. Call impact. Pop him right next door. Whoops. downlifter. See, we have downlifter and an uplifter, but they're on the same channel. So we'll just call this white noise since it's both down and up. And put them on bus. Next up, folks, this. Got our pre-droop. That's depressing sounding. And our chant. And I cannot type today. These are around. Oh, you know what? I totally forgot these are already over here. Oops. This is our pre-drop. This is our chant. These guys can just go away. See ya. These are pre-drop. Chant. Okay. Now we're organized on a whole nother level. Game-changing stuff here. Everything is perfectly color-coded. Clutch. Now, let's arrange this track so that it's like kind of more than just this little bit here. I'm gonna go ahead and just slice right there. So we have that little beginning section, and we're gonna extend that 4 bars. I'm gonna copy the whole thing, move this over here, and then, oops, oh, I accidentally just right-clicked while I was holding, I believe, control, and what that does is there's a lot of weird kind of annoying things that will happen like this in FL, but basically what happened is I believe it opened up the magnet tool here and just kind of pressed it without my consent, even though I did it on accident. But you can just go here and click that to get back to the normal view. Oh. All right. Move these over. And take this low pass. Delete these points. We're just gonna organize this in the structure of like an actual song now. And right now I'm just fixing this automation so that it matches with the 8-bar intro. So we can do like a little B section over here. So I just highlighted this right here. And I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to paste it. And for this B section, we can keep it the same essentially, but add some elements as well. So one thing I'm thinking we would need over here is maybe a new synth or something to add. So I'm gonna just insert a new serum and let's just pull up like a basic time preset here. And make him his own lane here under our synth section. Call it sign lead. And make a little melody for him. Sick. And then let's add him to our mixer. Call him sign lead. And we can just hold Alt. Come over here to our synth section. Send him through our bus. And then he's right at home. All right, so now let's add a little break. What we're gonna do is just copy the entire track and paste it over here. So we'll have a little break section here, which is essentially just the intro. But we can make it better by so here to the pluck reverb, you can see how it's automating up, but then just going back to almost nothing right here. We can have the same intro, but change up the automation so that the break is a little bit different. So I'm just gonna get rid of this. And I'm gonna cut out a little part from the automation right here. And I'm gonna make this unique so that I can make changes to it without affecting the other original automation. And we'll get rid of that point. And let's just see if we can. So we can even make this part unique. This is the low pass. I think that would be better suited for an outro, so I'm actually gonna change that back. But what we can do, actually, I'm gonna get to that in the next video. I was recommending we could add some reverb to our new sign lead, and then just sauce on the reverb at the end here so that it kind of fades into the break. But that's we can cover that in the next video. Right now we're just doing some basic organization. Basic organization, as I'm pretty sure I've been going on for like 30 minutes now, but I'm gonna wrap this up soon. Okay, so let's just copy the break here. I need to make sure that cut the lanes there so that I'm not copying all of that excess stuff. And we'll paste it right over here for the outro. Okay, now we have a basic structure of a song. Up here on the top, you can go to up here, time marker, add one, and we'll call it intro 1.1. So right here, we have intro 1.1. And every 8 bars, we're gonna have a new section. So this will be intro 1.2. This will be drop 1.1, drop 1.2, break 1.1, break 1.2, drop 2.1, drop 2.2, oh, whoops. I forgot we had. Okay, I forgot we had like a B section over here. No worries. I'm gonna move these guys over here. Got a little ahead of myself. Yeah, this is the break. This we'll call drop 1.3, drop 1.4. I'm just right clicking and pulling up add marker. And I think what happens, you'll notice if you don't originally go up here and add a time marker, if you right click up here, I believe it doesn't let you. I'm not 100% on that, but as far as I know, you do need to go up here first, add a time marker. Finish dropping these guys in. Drop 2.3. Drop 2.4. Outro 1.1. Whoops. Okay. So you'll see now, from when we started this video, our project file is much more organized along with our mixer. And so on the next video, we're gonna go over some basic mixing techniques and hopefully wrap up this song. So stay tuned for that.